Because you smell like 3 inches aloud.
Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes.
Hello and welcome to your mom's podcast, the only podcast that's worth walking out on a date with one of Degrassi's coolest girls. I'm Caroline,
I'm Avis.
and today we're discussing Degrassi Season 5, Episode 3, Death of a Disco Dancer. Roses are red. Derek is smug. You're dumping me? And giving me drugs? Mr. Oilyander has returned from Alaska, or wherever, and his hair is greasier than ever. So greasy that even a love-struck Paige notices, though she continues not to notice all the glaring red flags. Luckily, Matt is well aware that Paige is too good for him, so he dumps her and gives her a nice fat joint. Over in the B-plot, annoying little turd Derek is an annoying and ableist little turd to Jimmy.
Fuck Derek.
Fuck Derek. Fuck this B-plot, although
Fuck
like
the
it,
B-plot, but I mean,
but also like it is
I'm
important.
okay. Yeah, I'm okay with them giving Jimmy this B-plot. I'd rather they do that than ignore
Well, I think it's important to show
him being
like
a coach, you know?
coming back and like trying to find his footing as like who he is beyond just the kid that got shot,
Yeah.
you know? And he can't play basketball the same way anymore, but it's still a big part of his identity. Also, before we dive too deep into Jimmy, I just want to say I do not believe that Derek is good at basketball.
It's not believable. They backtrack on that shit so fast. It makes our head spin. And I just don't buy how he's supposed to be, one, good at basketball, and two, Caroline, the hot shot.
Right.
How is that believable?
Right. Like, I would believe that he could make the team.
He could make second string.
Avis is like, I don't even believe that he's making, like, no, he's on,
Not
like, the JV.
main team. He's the team that they bring out so that the main players don't get too winded and use up their energy because they're so ahead. Or they're like, yeah, no, Derek is not believably athletic.
Yeah.
And I find what's most believable about him is his bravado. That's what they stick to. But it makes more sense that his bravado is rooted in nothing. He has nothing
Derek
going
is, like,
for him.
Isn't he on the wrestling team at some point? Or does he just look like he would be on the wrestling team?
I don't know if they actually give him that because they do.
Because I know he's on the football team, which
yes,
I
he's
also
fucking
don't believe.
Down the line. Oh my gosh, it reminds me how much Derek we've got to deal with, and then in combination with other insufferable people.
Right.
I don't believe that it might be wrestling, but it could be something else. Like, I think that it's a good chance that they give him something else athletic to do.
Because I would believe that he's on the wrestling team. Like, even though he's small, he's that kind of scrappy, wiry kid who would, like, not that surprisingly could be a good wrestler.
Yes, that would be more believable. Except
but I don't see this kid on the basketball team. I just don't.
Mm-hmm. Except for, like, basketball, at this time, Degrassi doesn't even have any consistent male sports.
Right.
Because, like, we have Toby on the wrestling team for that one episode.
Yeah, but that was like years ago.
But that was years ago. We don't hear anything else about the boys wrestling team.
This is back when Toby still had a personality beyond Baby Incel.
Mm-hmm. Personality and purpose, kind of. It was not it's never, I feel like, until toward the, we're getting toward the boiling point where they really start emphasizing school sports beyond just an episode,
Right.
or multiple characters participate in them, so you can't just make it one episode. Like they have volleyball become a big thing,
Yeah.
like things like that. Okay, that is a good use of a sport, because a lot of kids develop, inner dynamics in their sports teams. I think that they should actually explore that more. That would be interesting. They did that floor hockey episode where everybody almost smacked Liberty upside the head with their sticks, but like, have we really done enough in the way of like just making it a gimmick? This
Right.
is exactly what it is in this episode, because of course we have to hear that Jimmy was team captain all three, or he was on the team all 3 years and team captain every one except for last year. And we don't get much evidence of that.
It's so weird to me too, right? That Jimmy's like, I was on the team for 3 years, team captain every year, but last year, and Derek's like,
You're the kid
you're the kid that got shot. Like, where have you been?
have you? He just got here.
No, he was here last season because
I
Danny
know
was
he-
here last season, which means he was here when Drake got shot.
But he still acts like, because, I guess if he weren't here last season and we want to address why this guy's in a wheelchair, I don't know. What?
Right? Is that what it is? It's like how when you watch The Amazing Race, Phil has to explain what a detour is every time, just in case you're
Mhm.
tuning in for the first time ever.
You've never seen an episode, you can't follow context.
A detour is a choice between two tasks, each with its own set of pros and cons. In this detour, contestants will have to choose between milking 15 rabid goats or carrying this
Or-
2,000-ton rock up this 300-mile mountain.
Mm-mm-mm. That sounds about right. I love The Amazing Race, but
So good.
they're like, you person who spent 10 hours on your couch unwashed watching this season need to know every episode what these tasks are,
Right.
how to,
Phil, I've been binge watching Amazing Race for 3 weeks now.
right? Like,
I
I'm
know what a
here with
roadblock
you.
is.
Right? Like, I'm here with you. I know. Stop it. Yeah. It's very much like, I'm holding your hand in case you forgot. Jimmy got shot. Like, thanks. And now he's in a wheelchair. Now he's a coach, because apparently they could just get instead of Jim. This is what he does. Is that what we're supposed? Because like it comes up later that he can't graduate because he doesn't have enough credits. So why isn't he in class?
mean-
Are they giving him credit for this? Because this is during this. Is this in the afternoon?
Right, it's weird because it's feeling like a Pretty Little Liars timeline because it
It's
looks like they go
feeling-
back to class after.
It looks like they go back to class after. I just want to see a school schedule. I don't want any trouble. I don't want any trouble. Give me a timetable, as they might call it in Canada, because I don't know what the fuck you'll love to call shit. The thing that makes sense, but it also doesn't make sense.
All of the underclassmen got like a free day because of the college fair.
Is that the day of the
So
college fair?
It is.
That
I think
is.
It's the same day. It's within the same
It
window.
is because
Okay, we'll allow it.
Because what happens is that we go back and forth between the first day that Jimmy gets called. This is in the episode. This is not me using this outdated word. We know the word. It feels like that's supposed to be the end of the day because Paige has rushed out for her date. She was in detention.
Yeah.
So, but if it's a 2-day thing, maybe because I don't know.
Anyway, long story short, Jimmy's better at basketball than Derek,
learning,
even with no legs and no jump. He has legs, but he can't use them to jump.
He
doesn't even have a fancy basketball wheelchair.
A fancy basketball wheelchair.
Which you think would have been the first thing that Papa Brooks bought him.
I mean, I think that we've established that Papa Brooks is pretty negligent in the picking up on context department. Maybe get your basketball star son a specialty basketball chair with all that fucking money that you make down at that the nondescript business location where you feel up on your secretaries. But we'll get there.
We'll get.
But chances are he's already doing that shit, so.
Yeah, no.
He's already stepping out on Mrs. Brooks, so why not? I just feel like you have the money. You don't really need to pick up on it. You should just be a good parent and know that you had a son that was heavily athletic. He was going to be a basketball star. That was what you were upset about when he got shot. So why not try to make his transition, knowing especially, and like maybe not at the beginning, but now he's doing coaching and stuff, neglecting his school studies.
Because Mr. Brooks sucks, and what's he gonna brag about his son being like the star of his wheelchair basketball team? No, Mr. Brooks sucks. He's ableist and gross.
Yeah.
Jimmy is of no use to him right now.
That sucks. You should have had a safety kid like everybody else.
Avis!
You have one, and then you have another, just to make sure.
In case the first one's a dud?
In case the first one's a dud.
Oh, because Emma's kind of a dud? On that note, are we ready to move to the
she
A-plot?
kind of is. We don't know what turns out of Baby Jack, but she kind of is. Let me double check my deep dive notes in case any of them are about this B-plot.
Would you like to hear my B-plot notes?
Mm-hmm.
I simply do not believe that Derek is good at basketball.
Yeah.
Armstrong shutting down fights like always. What would this school do without him? We do have Coach Armstrong come in, break up another fight. And I do love when Derek tries to say Jimmy started it, and Jimmy just looks at Coach Armstrong. I'm in a wheelchair.
Yeah, no, actually. It's funny you say that. Those were my notes too. I forgot this was Derek's introduction. I didn't buy him then as a jock, and I don't buy him now as a jock. And Armstrong breaking up fights again, doing the good work. Derek, Jimmy has pride issues. You don't think he pushed himself to the physical limit in that chair? Jimmy was up in there shooting baskets. He didn't go to sleep. He's like, shut up, Mom. Like, I'm out here trying to prove something to myself. Shut up.
My third note is I don't care about this B plot. And my fourth note is I should though. Like, Jimmy reclaiming his identity is important.
I should though, but I don't.
That's I barely care about this A plot either.
I barely care. Yeah, this whole episode is struggling to get, because we know what comes next. So I'm like, oh, that's what comes next. Oh, I want to move forward, but we've got to stay here with Mr. Oilyander. Yeah, no, I think that's pretty much the bulk of my notes. I just think that I don't like Derek I need to see less of him.
Yeah.
I need Jimmy to go to class. I need them to give Hazel more than something to do to support Jimmy, but we know that's at least giving her something to do. So I guess I should be grateful for the scraps, but I'm not. And yeah.
Fucking okay, so this A plot.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to talk about. One of the things I want to talk about though is this A plot is two plots, right? Because we've got Paige getting dumped, and that's like a minor thing, but it's also a big thing, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then we've also the driving thing is Paige is this very goals driven person, and she has this big issue with the fact that Alex is not.
Yeah.
And alludes to if Alex doesn't go to college, she's going to be a loser and all this shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she cares so much about Alex being a loser, but she's head over heels
for a fucking loser.
For the biggest loser in the world.
He is like, I think that she, hmm, how do I put this? She's excusing a lot of him because he's a man.
Yep.
And obviously Alex is very capable. Um and she's got a lot of personality. I don't think that, like, I have no doubt that even if what happens to, like, that she won't land somewhere,
Right. Alex is going to be okay
she's going to
because
be okay. Because that, right, like, she has to be okay, and she will. Not to be like, oh, okay, she's strong because she's got to be strong, but, like, I just think that's Alex's personality of, like, she is just going to make sure that she's okay.
no, like, and as tropey as it is, like, also, no, I don't know, as somebody who, like, is strong and who, like, comes up against shit that I'm sure will break me and it never has the decency to actually break me, like, Alex is going to be okay because Alex has to be okay. Because Alex
Yeah.
doesn't know how to do anything but be okay.
I think that that's what I have the biggest issue with at the end of the episode. As much as I love Paige, you know how much I love Paige.
Mm-hmm.
I love Paige, but I feel like she is sometimes like, unfortunately, the one thing I've always taken away from this episode is what Oilyander's dumbass said is, and I mean, I'm not going to quote it exactly because it's in my shots fired and I think it's funny in a way. But he's basically saying you don't really know what life is about yet. And
Mm-hmm.
you just think everything is so simple and you can answer something without even having
Yeah.
without even being in it and having that life experience, and you're going to get knocked on your ass. He doesn't say the knocked on your ass
Right.
part,
But
but
no,
that's
and that's it,
implied.
is that, like, Alex is going to be a lot more okay than Paige. Like,
She
Alex
will.
has probably another decade ahead of her of just surviving.
Yeah.
And then Alex is going to thrive.
She will, because she's going to make a way for herself, and I think that Paige is just super used to having things fall into her lap with minimal work
Right.
and
Paige
with
doesn't know what to
connections.
do when things don't go the way they're supposed to.
She does not know what to do when things don't go the way they're supposed to. She completely does not know how to reorient herself and try a different course to get what she wants.
Which is, frankly, Alex is going to be in for a rude awakening when her life finally does settle into place, because she's not going to know what to do when things go the way they're supposed to.
Right?
That's
Alex is going to
such
be
a,
used to,
like,
it's crazy to say their problems are the opposite, because all of Alex's issues are out of her control. These are things that these are circumstances of her life right now. It's like, it's just the difference between having parents who put you first and parents who put you, last.
right.
And Alex just does not have the luxury of being able, like she said, to worry about her future and prioritize things that she deems, like, I mean, honestly, less important than her safety and her well-being. Like,
Right. You think if Alex had been in the Dean situation, her mom would have gotten her a lawyer? You think her mom would have gone
mhm,
to court with her?
no,
Like,
no.
no.
Her mom is just trying to make it through whatever, like, boyfriend or situation that day, because
Right.
she's also, I mean, it's also heavily hinted that her mother has, drug issues. But at this time, it's just like she is in a domestic violence situation.
Right.
She is in a fight or flight situation every day. She is
You
not,
can't take care of your kid when you're
yes,
focused on your own survival to the degree that Mrs. Nunez is, or Miss Nunez.
right, right. And it's like, Alex can't do, like, and I mean, it must be very frustrating to hear, like, someone who has had everything just given to them and, like, hasn't really had to work for much because her parents don't want her to. Her parents want her to be a kid and provide her everything. Say that, oh, I don't want to see my former friends become losers, and, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's like, these are things that you can do and that you have the luxury of, like, focusing on because everything else in your life is taken care of. And even
Yeah.
when it's not, everything in your life is taken care of. When most of your needs are met and your household is not in the state that Alex's household is in, like there is no peace in Alex's house. Like she can't come home and do her homework
Right. Well, and it's
and
like,
have a routine and predictability.
I know a lot of people love Palix, and
Hmm.
I love what Palix could be,
They have a lot of potential.
but I feel like so much of the Palix dynamic
Hmm.
is Alex like opening fucking veins for
Hmm.
Paige to try and get her to get it, and then she still doesn't.
Hmm. Literally, she's like, I don't know if I'm going to be at home or at the women's shelter tonight because of what my mom has going on. And Paige has the nerve to say, that's two of us who are scared after that. Like,
Right.
after all that, she still manages to make it about her. And like they're in any sort of comparable situation.
Right. Right.
You are in a situation of predominantly your own making. Like, you have Paige to blame for why you are feeling so disjointed and discombobulated. That's
Right.
your problem. Alex does not control a thing about what she just said.
Right.
Like, she cannot decide, to take a different course and like, oh, okay, this is my problem, I can tackle it from a bunch of angles. This is not her problem. This is a circumstance that she is having to live through.
Her support system is Jay Hogarth.
Right. But at least Jay fucking got it.
Jay got
At
it.
least Jay understood the gravity of what the
No,
fuck
like that's
Alex
I'm
was
not
going
even like
through.
I'm not
But right, no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
shitting
no.
on Jay, and not
I
that there
know you're
isn't.
not. But like to say that, like, I think that to just agree with you, like that is a support system, even though he's a terrible person. I think he is a better support system for her because he does not minimize or like shrink away from the things that he's told. And he does not
Right.
try to like make light of them or conflate them with his own issues and
Right. Alex can tell him something and then not have to like help him feel better about her trauma.
correct.
And I don't think you can say to Paige, like, here's what my home life is, and not then have to like deal with the fact that Paige is like, oh my God, that's so awful. I'm so, and like, not that you can't feel bad for somebody who's in a shit situation, but
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know, deal with that shit on your own time.
Right. Like people deserve to just like be able to have a safe space and not make it and like, this just not have it being made about somebody else.
Right.
Like Alex, I'm sure does not get the opportunity aside from Jay, and she doesn't talk to Jay anymore to talk
No.
about what's going on, and shit is still happening.
Right. She had that with best friend Amy, but then she had to knock
Best
her into
friend
the
Amy got
hole.
sucker punched into the black hole. Boom! Bitch
Bitch
went
went
down.
down. I'll send you a copy.
Boom! Sid, super bitch. Yeah, I am just so I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated by the relationship. I think that critically, if I were really trying to pay attention, I always have been. I've never been satisfied with how Alex is, like you said, just continually feeling like she's opening up, literally bleeding and trying to show Paige some pieces of her.
Right. Like, I shouldn't have to explain my trauma to you to get you to have some empathy for me.
It feels like that's what it takes because Paige is just so disconnected from anything that's not the set of issues she's going through.
Right.
Honestly, even when Marco tells Paige things, it's like she that's why I think she makes light of the relationship that Marco and Dylan are in, and other things, because she's out of her depth. When Paige is out of her depth, it's like, I think that she is an empathetic person. We've seen evidence of this, but I do think that to a point she has to see things
Right.
and be confronted with intense emotions to kind of connect. And Alex is just such a reserved, dry, humored person that even when she says stuff like, I don't know where I'm going to sleep tonight. It could be at home or it could be at the women's shelter. I'm going to be wearing this uniform for the rest of my life. Paige doesn't, like, she reacts, but I don't really think she takes it very seriously.
No. I
Because for
don't think
me, my response, and not like I mean, I try to be a fixer now. I don't know what 17-year-old Avis would have done, but like, I feel like part of me would have been like, okay, you don't know where you're sleeping tonight. You're sleeping with me.
right. Right.
And not like I can do that every night, but my mom and I came to, like, I had friends that stayed at my house because they did not have anywhere else to go. And my house was their house for years. Like, my mother would never turn away someone, especially if I'm like, okay, they're in a situation where their life is upended because of this.
Dude, my brother's ex-girlfriend literally lives with my parents. And my
I
mom's
think you
just
told
like,
me that.
I'm your mother now. Like, nah.
Yeah, I think that it's hard because I really think the representation we get on this show is so scant, and that's why we're like, oh,
Oh, I think that's a huge part of it. And again, I do think that, like, if we were allowed to see them at their best,
mm-hmm,
Alex could be something great.
right.
But
Yeah, well, we never get that. It's always colored by some amount of stress. Their
right,
happy times are so short-lived.
I feel like they're at their best after they've broken up when Paige like burns down her dorm room.
That's when they're most like
That's
healthy
when they're
for
at their
each other.
healthiest. Yeah.
And it feels like, even I like their buildup in some ways a lot more than their actual relationship, because even in this episode you can see the eyes that Alex is making at Paige, and like how she completely, like, their whole squeaky voice thing. It's so
So
cute.
cute. Well,
It's
and we're gonna get there.
adorable.
I haven't seen Palix since my last rewatch, so like
And
who knows?
I mean, we have cute moments, but we also have so much backlash. It's like one step forward, 7 steps back. Like, it's not,
Right.
there's no allowed, like, we're not allowed to get any like gratification really, because it's like scene by scene this couple is fucking chaotic.
Well, you've got just so many things, right? Okay, so like they're both just from completely different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
There's like all of the shit of being a teenager. There's
And so, yeah,
all of
social
their various
pressures.
traumas. There's like
Oh,
they
the
should ask
various traumas.
Sauvé for couples
Couples thing,
counseling.
couples counseling, compatibility counseling. No, I think that they could be I think that what Paige tends to do is blame her for everything. And like blame her for like even their friendship, and like becomes something that Alex is like having to earn however many years in the future.
Right.
Um
There's like a power dynamic that I don't like.
I don't like it either, and it makes me like, okay, bitch, your shit stinks, Paige. And I love you so much, but stop talking to her like that, because you have
Right.
no idea what that feels like. And it's not like you're being dismissive, but it's like you are acting like your situation with this greaseball ass motherfucker is comparable to not having a stable or safe home life.
Right. Right. No, I don't think that like Paige realizes how lucky and privileged she is. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and I don't think that she can truly conceptualize what Alex's life is like. And I
No.
think even when they get closer and like She goes to Alex's house.
Right?
Like,
She still doesn't
she
get it.
doesn't get it. She's just like, oh, this is weird.
Let me kiss you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, while we're on the A plot, he's very minor, but I'm just gonna fucking say it. Hot take. I don't like Marco.
Marco gets on my nerves.
I mean, he's very one-dimensional. We've discussed that. He's
I'm going
gay.
to Bantang. I'm gay. I went on safari to Mari Marseille this summer. So go ahead. I'm
came
cultured
back with
now.
this dashiki.
This chic is
Oh.
reversible.
No, it's not. No,
It's
no,
reversible.
no, no.
4-in-1 fashion, or is it 2-in-1?
No.
2-in-1 fashion.
Stop.
Literally, that I believe it's reversible.
No, stop. No.
And he got those sandals like buy one get like 3 free because we're trying to get rid of these fuckers.
Oh my god, he should have come back with those like Jesus sandal rope shoes.
I was obsessed with those
Yo, those shoes are comfy
fucking
as
shoes. For like, they are.
fuck. Those shoes are
I
surprisingly
stole
comfy.
them from a friend
But they're so
because
fucking ugly and they're
I
so
was refused to
impractical.
buy them when
And
I
they
saw
get
the price.
so gross.
Oh yeah.
They get so gross.
That's the one thing that and it's like, as much as I love like Birkenstocks and stuff, that's the one thing that deters me from getting Birkenstocks. Like, it's just because you see the foot. You see what I live my life. I live my life in these shoes. You can see the imprint of my toes.
That's why old people wear them with socks, but like it's not a good look.
It's not cute. I think the right like person can make anything cute. They're
Nobody
just like,
can make
"Fuck
Birkenstocks
it."
cute with socks.
I think that so many people think that they make Crocs look cute with anything, and they're wrong.
I know my Crocs don't look cute, but sometimes they're comfy.
You guys look like some squeaky ass, holy
Bitch,
ass cheese
Sometimes
boys
I
out
don't want to
here.
put on whole ass shoes to go to the store. Fuck you.
I never would. First of all, the closest to like I live in my UGG. What the Tasman, whatever those bullshits are, whatever the style of the Uggs are called, they're the slip-on ones. I wear those most occasions. They're dusty. They're not cute anymore. I wear them because they're comfortable. And if someone wants to roast me, these are my Uggs. I don't care. But I have to tell you that even on the dustiest day, my Uggs still look vastly superior to any of these cheese boy ass fucking minivan. No, I will not elaborate. Fucking Crocs.
Well, and like if I'm gonna get a Croc, I want it in like a dark color. I want it to be like as
Unassuming.
discreet and unassuming as humanly possible, right? But you see, motherfucker, they're like, let me stick gibbets. What the fuck are gibbets?
So that your eye can be instantly drawn to this abomination.
My bright yellow tie-dye Crocs full of gibbets.
And I am not
Could that be
disputing the
the
comfortability.
title?
My what?
My
it's
bright
gonna be-
yellow tie-dye Crocs full of gibbets.
Oh my gosh. It's submitted.
No, there's got to be a better title in there.
I feel like it's helpful to be like, because this is me on like whatever on a Tuesday, like, fuck, what am I gonna, after I've edited it, like, what is the name of this episode? Then scrolling through the fucking transcripts. So that helps. It helps if I can get like, okay, put your eyes on this title, maybe. Might just be the title for the night. Like, go back and change it. I don't need a title to upload it. Who knows? But regardless, Marco has not shopped wisely. And I despise everything that he's doing in this episode.
Right.
While Paige is literally having a mentee break. And apparently smoking weed makes you a bully.
Okay. I want to talk about a few things. The first thing that I want to talk about, actually, though, with relation to the weed, is
Yeah.
he came straight from the airport.
Thank you.
Did he
Did
fly
he fly
from Alaska with
with the
this
joint
Because
up?
that's international.
That is an international crime.
Or
He
did he like
smuggled.
stop and see his dealer?
I just feel like that's exactly my thought. Did you said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I came right from the airport. That's why I still have my bag." You're a liar because either you've got an airport weed dealer,
Right. And
either you
like
committed an international crime over a gram of weed.
over a gram of weed that like you just pulled out of like your pocket. Like was it like up your butt and you
What
stopped and took it out? Like did you give
is
her
that
ass
why
weed?
he right,
Or
is
did
that why
you
he
just
looked
like
behind
fly
him?
with a joint in your fucking pocket? And then
I,
also, this is like this like very nicely rolled joint,
it
right?
is
With then like
little
like a
pre-roll,
quarter gram of shake.
of just some shit, just a little dust for your pleasure. What? Who does that? You put that shit when you got it rolled up and ready to see. You put that shit in the end. That's enough to have fit in. What is going
Why is
on?
that there? It
Why
doesn't
does
make sense. Like it
Degrassi
didn't.
think that we don't know what legitimate drug users? Because
I mean,
of
because we
course we're
didn't then.
drug users. We're drug users.
Did you know the first time you watched this episode?
I always thought that was quite suspicious.
And
Not
then
not the first time. I was just like, at least it looks like weed and not oregano. But
Alex lighting the joint, I had issue with that because
she
she's just
looked like just
holding
lighting
it
it.
down by her waist, lighting it, which like fine. You don't have to have it in your mouth to light
That
it, but
shit
she's
going
like
boat.
they have a whole conversation and she's just sitting there lighting this
She's
joint the
lighting it
whole
like
time.
a cigarette. Like, because cigarettes.
Nobody lights a cigarette like that.
Really? Okay.
No, you put a cigarette in your mouth and you inhale as you're lighting it. What are you talking about?
Girl,
Who
I
have you
don't.
ever seen light a cigarette like this?
Children. That's the last time I done smoked a cigarette was when I was in like
Why
high
are
school.
you giving children cigarettes?
We were children in high school. I was at a bonfire and someone offered me one of those.
Okay, wait. So we're not actually talking about a way we've seen people light cigarettes. We're talking about the way that you lit cigarettes when you
No,
were a teenager.
I probably lit a cigarette that way. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
I
because
probably didn't want it in my
nobody
mouth.
showed you that, baby.
No.
Nobody showed you that.
Okay. That's fine. I don't smoke them.
No, but you smoke joints.
I smoke joints. Sometimes you light a joint that way, but
Yeah,
not
you don't have to,
really.
but you're definitely not holding the lighter there for
It's
that long.
You're not holding the lighter there for that long. I don't light my joints like down like that. You light it. I don't want it to boat. Sometimes when I'm
Right.
rolling quickly, I light it upside down so that it just all flows up and lights evenly, and then you're supposed to, yeah, there's a whole science apparently. But
But
I
they don't want to
don't.
show them actually smoking weed. They don't want to show us how to light a joint because they're
No,
banking on the fact that some of us just think that's how you light things that you smoke.
I
Like
guess
it's an
half that shit
incense
is
stick.
like Alex has charred the joint.
And then like
It should be a huge fire in her hand as all the fucking weed eats itself up in the flame.
Alex's behavior in particular, because Alex smokes weed.
Yeah.
Like
She's, yeah.
Paige being a little extra weird, but it's like so weird.
Maybe this was some good Alaskan / Canadian airport
Maybe.
weed. So who knows? He's just got to connect, waiting
But
for
they're
him on
like
the runway.
so obnoxious at this fucking college fair. Like
Yeah.
Alex literally takes a college representative's glasses off his face.
Okay, but that one lady was quite goofy. Like, have you thought of Saparel as a potential post-secondary school? He looked like she had just tucked her, yeah. She like tucked her upper lip like so far against her teeth to like, and then like they shot her at a camera angle where you could see kind of, you know, above. It was just very kooky. They're like, is this what they think people when they're high? I have never hallucinated. I have just thought that I was somewhere else and then been like, well, I'm right here all along. It's more like a mind trip that I've
I
gone
mean,
on.
okay,
That's the highest I've ever
I'm
been,
trying to think back to like being a teenager.
being that teen high. I think I've gotten giggly high before.
I was
Giggle high is a
certainly like
thing.
goofy.
Giggle high is a thing, yeah.
It's not the most inaccurate drug portrayal we're gonna get on Degrassi.
Yeah, maybe we should start ranking, especially because we are going to get way more of those, the like drug portrayals, and how they
Yeah,
stack up, because I think that this one is not terrible, but I don't like that it vastly changes their personalities, because
right.
that's not how we works. It's not like alcohol where it like emboldens you to do things that you would have already done. Because contrary to popular belief, that is all alcohol does. You were gonna do that shit. You just needed a push. Does not conjure wants out of thin air, but it does enhance your mood. It enhances, so you know, you might find things more funny. You might find things more like emotionally moving. I know sometimes I smoke and I weep. Um,
Right.
like I just fucking weep. Um, but like I wouldn't necessarily say that it ever made me like mean. Like, oh, I want to
No.
prank people and trip people and like goofy, sure. I don't know. I personally, for me, I always felt like I didn't smoke a whole lot when I was younger. I just smoked socially. And then I never got my own weed until I was probably in like college. Then I would smoke solo with my friends. And I would be very introspective when high. Like I typically like am just sitting there, glass
Yeah,
case of emotion.
but introspective college student getting high on her own is different from teenager getting high at a like the college fair sounds like a horrible thing to be high at.
It sounds very well, first there's just so many things happening, so your attention is just not being able to process all of the things, because that's what another thing it does. That's why they um always talked about just the risk of smoking and driving, because your processing is delayed.
Mhm.
You don't realize that shit is occurring. That is, I will say that even in social situations where I have smoked and gotten very high, even in college, I have just retreated to my head. And I've had like I was sitting arm in arm with my best, like we were holding each other's hands. Did not matter. I was in one world and she was in another. We were at a party and there was like a song playing that we were both experiencing as being like 14 minutes long. It was like a 4-minute song.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a social experience, but like depending on how much you smoke and what you smoke, it can quickly become a very solo experience. Like you in
I
it
don't
by
know. It's not the
yourself.
worst representation of weed, but like some of the shit, the taking the guy's glasses is over the top. Paige
Mm-hmm.
being a little like loopy eyed
Yeah, right. The little
is
eyes
fine.
rolling
Her
around in
not
her head
being
was
able to
funny.
handle that sit down, especially her first time being high, and suddenly she has to sit
Very
and talk about
believable.
her future with her mom's bestie.
Very, very believable. I don't know if I've ever been like, I am so high in any context like that, because I quickly learned what situations helped me when I smoked, like
Right.
what helped my anxiety when I smoked, and what situations hurt my anxiety when I smoked. I would not do it to take tests because it makes tests feel like a longer experience. It made me feel like I was in the sixth circle of hell taking this test. I'd rather be completely, have not have that. Yeah, it's not terrible. I just think that the personality changes like the worst. Alex taking off her shoes is funny.
It's
It's
funny. It's just like
it's like I was hot, man. Like taking my shoes off felt good. I don't know. Just I think it's they're upping the sensory experience, which I think is more accurate. But otherwise, like they and the fact that they don't talk about, yes, your clothes will smell, yes, your hair will smell, and you won't smell it. You won't smell it.
But Simpson would have.
It's like, yeah, Simpson's gonna smell that loud, that Alaskan Canadian loud. I really
Right,
feel
and I
like
feel like Simpson would be like, you know what, Paige? I'm gonna get you out of this. Why don't
right,
you sit in my classroom? I'll be there in a little bit.
I'm gonna have
What's
mercy on
going
you
on?
today, right? Because you smell like 3 inches of loud. Snake, Snake don't know shit about it. We 3 inches of loud. What's going on? What's happening?
You think Snake didn't smoke weed while he had cancer?
He smoked.
Canada, man.
It's Canada, man. Yeah, it was legal. He probably smoked a little dope. I personally feel like it's not a big. It's a big like. Of course, we have to suspend the belief that, like, of course, Snake, the character that we know he is, would do that. But like, for the circumstances of this chaotic ass storyline, he's just got to throw her to the proverbial wolves. Wolf,
Yeah.
whatever. And it's like, okay, you should definitely have smelled. She said Alex torched that joint
like a stick of incense.
They are, first of all, and the fact that they smoked a whole joint to the face between two of them, even though she burned half of it.
Either that or they put it out and one of them has it on them.
Which would be foolish, because then you smell like, then
burnt
what?
Marijuana.
Burnt marijuana. Still kind of okay, somebody just smoked in the alley, huh?
Resin.
Yeah, resin. You don't want resin walking. Oh, it's just a stinky item to be carrying around with you, and that Ziploc bag doesn't do shit.
Nope.
So I feel pretty bad that the Snake we know and love was not allowed to represent today. And pull her aside and say, listen, this is not...
You smell like weed.
Right, this is not okay.
You can't come to the college fair smelling like weed, Paige. I know you know this.
I know you know this, if nothing else, Paige.
I know you also got abused by your student teacher this year, so I'm gonna let this slide. But we're gonna talk about it.
Fan fiction that we all need to heal. It sucks that that's not what we get, because I mean, it ultimately does not affect Paige, spoiler alert, in the way that like this episode wants us to believe. Because Paige is well connected.
Right. She's still gonna get into Banting. Her mommy's just mad at her.
Her mom's just pissed. Like, did you have to smoke before the college fair?
Right. Of all the days.
You smoke after the college fair. To decompress. Are you kidding me?
Right? Come on, Paige. Get it together.
Get this shit together. Yeah, she'll learn. Or she won't. I don't know. Yeah, I feel pretty bad for Paige, but I also don't feel bad for Paige.
No, because she's walking.
I feel bad that she embarrassed herself, but yes, she's being very like, you guys have any of the same realities in life,
right?
You don't. You have virtually, other than going to the same school and being the same age,
they have the same job,
and having the same job via circumstances that, you know,
are completely different.
Yeah,
to survive
and contribute to her rent when her mom can't pay it because of bailing the bullshit boyfriend who, you know, should be in jail and stay there out.
Right.
You know, it's very much like you don't even understand. You have no idea what Alex's money goes toward. That is what we get her saying in the Queen of Hearts with Ellie, just like, I can't afford $1 a month. Like,
Right.
I have another rent to pay, basically. Like, I'm the backup when my mom needs money. Who do you think gives her money? She makes minimum wage. Like, it's still it's Canadian minimum wage, but like, still.
Right. Right. No, these people just don't really have
No.
frame of reference for that. And like Paige gets her little poverty reality check at the end, and we get the like hokey music freeze frame, but like nothing
Mm-hmm.
changes.
Nothing changes. Nothing is learned, really. Nothing is retained, rather. Because this whole issue that Alex
We're gonna
confesses to
play it
Paige,
again and
we're
again.
gonna play it again and again, and Paige is just like, I don't know. It's
Does
more
not get it.
it's right. It's more Paige not getting it. And I mean, not to defend Oilyander, because fuck his greasy ball ass, but he is right with, Paige's concept of, okay, you went through this thing, so you know how to get through it. Like,
Right.
you figured it out. Like, it's not Paige's concept of life is skewed by the fact that someone's been planning it out for her and providing for
Right.
her and everything. Sooner or later, she's got to make her own way.
Well, and like frankly, Paige and Oilyander were never gonna work. Like even if he had
No.
stayed at teacher college, like that's not enough for her. That's not ambitious enough for her. Like it's just not.
All this ambition she seeks, and she is just looking in interesting places.
Right.
Now, no shade, some shade, but I just definitely think that, yeah, like his saying, I can't be expected to like do like, fit into whatever cookie cutter lifestyle you think that you want me to, fit into. Like, I just don't have the capacity for that.
Right.
Like, I need to figure shit out for myself. He is still young enough to have, feeling like, okay, I don't know, I'm aimless right now. I feel like at any age you have a right to feel like that, but this is the classic time for 20 somethings to like struggle and tumbleweed and everything and try to figure out what's going on. They are also at two different places. He has, through consequences of his own motherfucking actions, lost everything he thought that he, was going to have,
Mm-hmm.
and now has to reorient himself. And I'm sure that it's very frustrating having the person that in your mind you gave things up for, blah, 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 trying to be, trying to stand up on a soapbox and tell you how to live your life.
Yeah.
If I'm going to put myself on the side of things that are his side of things. But also, that was a choice that you made, and this is a 17-year-old girl that
Right.
you threw
What did
everything
you
away
think was gonna
for.
happen when you
She has
started
an
dating a teenage
unrealistic
girl?
Right. She has an unrealistic point of view of the world because she has not lived in the world for any amount of time, the real world. She's living in her parents' world. So why do you think that she's going to be able to conceptualize the fact that you no longer have options here and you're trying to follow anything that's going to yield to a stable income and etc.? She does not understand that. She just wants you to come where she is because in her mind, you can make money anywhere.
Right. No, I don't know. Oilyander did one thing right, and that was break up with Paige before he wasted any more of her fucking time.
Yes, that's the one thing he did right. And I think that he really tried to he thought he ate with the predominancy of the things that he said, but I just think that one thing he did kind of sober her up about is just that like life is not as simple as you come up with in a minute,
Right.
it's
But
not
also,
something
like,
you
I don't
can
know.
bottle.
This whole breakup could have been an email.
This whole breakup could have certainly been an email, a quick, like the way that he contacted her about he's coming back into town, just because it's like she's a stop on his way to Vancouver, it seems
Mhm.
like. So just call me, leave me a voicemail
Right.
from the train station in Vancouver, you cunt.
Coulda, shoulda,
That
woulda.
she paid $5+ for those seltzers at that
Mhm.
bar. You know she did. She can't afford that.
Right? She's got to pay Spinner back.
She's got to pay Spinner back. You are denting her paying Spinner bitch ass Mason back money.
You know she was planning to pay for that whole fucking dinner. Or she did. They had a whole dinner, dude. And I bet you she paid for it.
Greaseball ass motherfucker ain't got no money.
Did Mrs. Michael Chuck know that Paige was going out with her former teacher?
Mrs. Michael Chuck is a woman who just doesn't know much that's going on with her daughter, I hope. Because if she knows and she's like, oh yeah, have a great time, that's fucked.
Right. Right.
But if she's not paying attention because she's got other things going on, that is also fucked. So that's fucked either way.
Either way, whatever though, because finally an adult in Paige's life did look out for her. It was Mr. Oilyander. He broke up with her.
Oh gosh. I'm just so over this guy and I feel grateful to be. Are we done with him?
We're done
We are
with
done
him.
with him. We're done with him. He doesn't come up again. Okay. I thought we had
He
one more
doesn't
episode or
fall
something.
into the black hole. He goes to
He's just
Vancouver.
he goes to Vancouver. We know where he is. He can stay there. And thankfully he does. Yay, Christmas came twice this year.
Huzzah! Are we
Huzzah.
ready for segments?
I wanted to mention that the song When Paige is Getting Dressed sounds like it's by the same artist that Manny's favorite song ever. Oh my gosh, I love this song. The woo! Ah! Woo! Ah! Like, what is this person just like riffing in the sound booth? I don't know. Like jamming big band style, just riffing every now and then. I thought that was. I'm like, this has to be the same person, the same band or whatever, because it sounds the same. It's so hyper. Liberty is now president via
And already pregnant.
and already clearly pregnant.
That outfit.
She's got the icon, like the bouffant straightened hairstyle. Oh gosh. And we're gonna get this shenanigans next episode. But yes, she's president. Marco comments on it with little interest, and he's just like, she did not. There was no election. People just really wanted her to be president. Like it was, she just won the public approval. Like there was you didn't miss anything. And Paige is like, oh, okay, this is just an aside. We're not having an election this year. Liberty's president because it's going to be relevant, kind of. We're saving episodes, people. We don't have time for an election this year. We don't have time. We have other things.
Last year we had time to devote a whole episode to it, but this year
We
Liberty's
don't.
just president.
Liberty is president. We have got no voting democratic process here. I've never heard of that before, ever. But okay, whatever. So yeah, I think that was my last note. Yep.
All right, so what have you got for fashion this episode? Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't have much.
Oh dearie me. Okay, so I feel like I'm very happy that we're in this season because the era for Paige's hair is just so much better. I'm just so happy.
Yeah, her hair is so good this season.
It's so good. Obviously her opening outfit, the blue soft denim jacket or blazer. She's got it buttoned the whole time, but when she's taking off her jacket to get in the shower for her date, we see that she's got like 3 layers underneath it, which I love. I love it so fucking much. She has got the classic cami that's just straight across as the base layer because you have to, and it's pulled down past her, around her waist. It is long, and then she has got like a lace overlay that may or may not be built into this second shirt. I think it could be, but it also could just be a completely separate shirt. And a really like delicate feminine blue v-neck. It's got a lot of, that delicate scrunchy material. I don't think she should have hid it under this blazer, but okay. And she's got the classic off of the hip braided belt, which is just, I was like, oh shit, I gotta. Because why did she just like casually slay underneath that blazer and just did it?
And then ruin it all with a belt.
And then she's like, this needs something.
I really like her outfit when she goes to meet Oilyander. Like, I mean, he's not worth all of this grooming.
But it's a fabulous.
She looks cute. She looks very grown up.
It's the shawl for me.
Yeah.
And she can't resist an accessory. She's just like, it needs something. A shawl, a dramatic shawl. I love the little necklace she's wearing. It's very it's, I don't know why, but it's very Titanic. Like
it's a statement piece. And it's simple, but it's elegant. It's she
carefully curated outfit, and I think that she has similar like pumps on, black pumps, because she's going to be wearing her pumps to school. This is what she does. Her pointy things are pointy again, so it's a thing.
Yeah, she's got pointy pumps.
There's just I really didn't like this era, but it was an era. I love Paige's date outfit. Definitely. Her accessory is very cute. I like Hazel's outfit. It's very similar, once again, to what Paige is wearing. They've gone back to dressing Paige and Hazel very similarly. Like bookends. Because Hazel's got this like cropped blazer. It's a black blazer. She's got the sleeves rolled up. She too has like a v-neck feminine, like hers has like flowers, it looks like, blouse on, and then she has a couple layers underneath. One looks like just like another v-necky thing, and then a base cami, just like Paige. I like her heart necklace, and her hair is styled very nicely. Like, it's obvious, it's sort of what they're doing to Liberty right now, but this was also the style. We are getting closer to like this is side bang. We're approaching side bang territory.
Oh yeah,
full steam ahead. Yeah, everybody's inching closer to the side bang, but Paige is like, you're going to pry this middle part from my cold dead hands, bitch, because I am like, she just does not, but even like, Liberty has the little bit of an updated hairstyle. We've got some of the swoop bang on Hazel though, but yeah, she's just got classic jeans on and a really big messenger bag, which I miss a messenger bag.
I love a messenger
bag. I love the look. I love the page boy, like, utilitarian Union Bay looks. Corduroy.
I like Paige's is a word. Paige's like college fair outfit.
I like that outfit. I
do too. But,
like is a lot.
Well, but look at the messenger bag and purse.
It's not a good look together. We have almost the same screenshot. That's funny.
Like, that was like,
it's so, I really love, I think I'm just a sucker for the layering of it.
I like the layering of it.
If she just
those shirts that had the boob,
the scrunch boob thing, and then the lace
outline at the boob cups, like,
I love the color too of her actual underlace. It's like a wine color. But if she had ditched the messenger bag or had it in like a different color because her white purse under her arm, like her little mini bag, speedy bag, looks really cute with the outfit. But it's really just like, I believe Paige could have fit everything she needed for the day into that little purse. What about you?
Even her massive joint.
Her
It's
massive
a really
joint.
big joint.
I hope that explains like why they were so like if they smoked most of that, because there's no we don't see any other like do we see this joint again? I think
No.
so it's been smoked in my book.
Fair.
It's all been smoked. It's either been partially wasted because Alex lit it up in a campfire style blaze, or it was just mostly it was smoked and boated. I don't know. I think that that probably explains why her eyes did that.
How did it, like, did she just have her eyes like that? Because that's like, she does look really fucking high.
She does. She looks like otherworldly. I think that that's what I would say. I'd be like, I am fucking otherworldly right now. I just need a moment.
Right?
Like, I am disastrously high.
And, like, she could have 100% instead saved it and been like, my boyfriend broke up with me last night. I was up all night crying. Like, I'm really sorry. I wasn't expecting you to be here. I would love to schedule a proper interview with you. But she's too high to do that.
She was way too high to do that. She didn't look at any of the other prospects. She said, I'm putting my eggs in the Banting basket. We already started to talk about this man. Marco Del Rossi, what the fuck do you have on? I just don't like the shift his fashion has taken this season. I don't like it. He's wearing, when Paige and him walk up at the college fair,
Mm-hmm.
he is wearing this printed, it looks like perhaps there are birds or other, something that looks like, I see like a neck that might indicate it is a bird. The quality on the screenshot is not the best, but he's also got a couple layers on under that with some of those braided necklaces that I guess he purchased while on safari, and like accommodating braided bracelets. His like jacket over top isn't super offensive. I think the one thing I don't like about it is like the patches on the front
Mm-hmm.
are supposed to be like quote unquote tribal, whatever. And I really don't, I know that this was a thing we did. I don't like his pants. I don't like, they're really offensive to me. They are like flared capri, like faded, like acid washed with rips that aren't real rips
Lot of adjectives.
in the knees.
That's
This is all
so many adjectives to describe one pair of pants.
one
I can't.
pair.
I can't.
It is the worst. And these drop pockets, like, yeah. And then he pairs that all off with the daddest pair of like, you know, those brown fabric-y sandals with the thick thong.
Yeah.
You're gonna see so many like, you know, dads wear these on vacation because they're a practical yet stylish yet manly choice.
Oh, Marco, we get it. You went to Africa.
We get it. His hair is the only thing that doesn't offend me.
Yeah, his hair's looking pretty all right this season.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my last fashion. That's it.
You want to go on down to where the shots are fired?
Yes, because these people need some shots fired at them.
Pew, 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 pew.
Shots fired.
Mine comes from Alex right at the top.
Okay.
Great. Now I'm bored, nauseous, and irritated all at the same time.
Mine actually comes right before that when she tells
Oh.
Paige, now say it with your squeaky voice.
Yeah, because she's being an asshole. I have Marco saying, mini hooray, now back to me. Like the little asshole that he's rising to be.
I have Alex saying banting is for rich kids and freakish genius savants.
I have Paige saying in that similar conversation, because I don't want to come back for the reunion and find out my former friends are losers. The sign-up sheet is in guidance. Go.
I have Alex in Perino's class saying, Paige likes to decide what's best for people, sir, and then jam it down their throats.
Yep. I have Paige saying, what's your problem? Alex saying, your judgmental self.
I have Snake in detention when Peter asks if he can also leave early, and Snake goes, Miss Hatzalakos, I mean your mummy, would say no.
I like how he also says, isn't this your first of 5 weeks of detention? Like, bitch, you gonna be here. You camping out. I have Oilyander with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Yeah, it's not healthy to wash it too much regarding his hair.
I know you have shots fired from that date, so if you want to get us through the date, I don't have any there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll run that. I found this date extremely roasting. Roastable. No, I have Paige saying, you said your life was chaos, and Oilyander replying, yeah, I wasn't complaining. Paige saying, you'll figure it out. Oilyander saying, what, like you figured it out? I mean, Paige, like you always have the answers, but you don't even know the questions. And
Boom.
finally, right,
Roasted.
like she's gonna think about that for the rest of her life. She's gonna think about that mediocre ass man saying probably the best thing he's ever said to anybody.
Reading her to filth.
Reading her to fucking filth. And to round it out, I have Oilyander saying, Paige, I can't be expected to sign up for this boring, routinized life you got laid out. And she's just devastated for this mediocre ass man.
I have Alex the morning after saying, your face is puffier than usual.
Yep. I have Jimmy saying, I think it's time to take you to school. Give me the ball.
I have Derek saying, got some more pointers to share? Teach me how to jump?
Oh my gosh, he's such a dick.
I don't have a lot from the B plot because they use the C slur a lot, and I was
They
like,
do.
nope.
Yeah, that's my only. Jimmy's was my only one from the B plot. It's just like, I think it's time to take you to school. Give me the
Yeah,
ball.
Derek's was mine.
Yeah. I have Paige saying, because you don't have a future. It's like giving, you can't sit with us.
We should all just stab Caesar.
Oh my gosh, that fucking movie.
I have Alex at work the next day telling Paige, stir the popcorn and don't talk to me.
Yes.
And then saying what happened to the you not talking idea that I had.
Yes. I have Paige saying, I was a toad to you. A warty, bumpy, green skin, horny toad. She's always like, she never wants to just call herself an asshole.
No, she's gotta like.
She's like, I was a jerk. Okay, I was a jerk. The equivalent of what we're allowed to say on TV. No, I was a toad to you. A warty, bumpy, green skin, horny toad. Well, I actually think toads are kind of cute. So, what are we talking about here? email us if you think toads are cute. I think that they have cute things about them. Overall, I find them kind of, better
No,
not.
you said it. You love toads. You
You
love.
heard it here, folks. I am a greenie. I'm a green, horned, warty, skinned, bumpy, whatever Paige said, enthusiast. Love toads out here, especially if they're bumpy and warty.
Did
But
anybody shine for you?
no.
Jimmy.
I think that what Jimmy did, well, I guess, yeah. Ultimately, Jimmy shined because he was always the bigger person, but he like
Well, yeah, Derek's
reestablished.
tiny.
Yes. Through, like, he didn't have to compromise who he was to show Derek that, like, you should not call people a slur, I guess, which is Jimmy should not have to do that work.
Mm-mm.
Jimmy should not have to do that fucking work. That work is exhausting. He was also shot, and he also had to learn like basic things so that he could live again.
Right.
I don't think he has time for this bullshit, this juvenile ass bullshit. So I think that for not like swanging on a bitch, sure, yeah, swanging on a bitch for having to teach a lesson that's not something you should have to teach.
Coach Armstrong broke up a fight. We love
We love Coach
we love when
Armstrong,
Coach Armstrong comes to save the day, so I'll give it there.
as he does so oft. Yeah. I cannot give it to Snake because he did not rescue Paige
No,
from
Snake didn't
the.
like bum me out, but
I think he had some zingers, but
yeah.
no.
So who bums you out?
I mean, I just feel.
Everyone.
I feel like, yeah, I'm bummed out by Paige. I mean, Alex does not bum me out, but I just feel like.
I can't in good conscience put Alex on my super bummer list.
No, I can't put her on my super bummer list. I think it's similar to Jimmy. Like, she should not have to do this work.
No.
She should not have to educate you on the trauma in her life so that you will take her seriously when she tells you that she has legitimate fears about her future and her current and her present.
Marco bummed me out.
Marco bummed me the fuck out, just because of him popping in while the actual things are occurring, being just.
And I know that it was like his appearance was minor, but Peter bummed me out.
His collar was not starched, so
The
that was
fact that he's only getting 5 weeks of detention
the fact that he wasn't fucking suspended and or expelled
under the jail.
under the fucking kitty, where the juvenile jail, wherever they send kids. He is definitely a bummer. Obviously we say Derek's a bummer. He's a character. He bummed me the fuck
Derek's
out.
a
He's just,
bummer.
for the sheer fact of how many times he uses that slur, I don't. And then it's like, oh my God, you now have something valuable to me that I can't do. You gotta teach me that. I won't call you a slur anymore.
Right?
I've learned my lesson. Heartwarming guitar music.
Has
No,
he though,
fuck
or is
that
he
guy.
just not gonna call Jimmy the slur?
He's just not gonna call Jimmy the slur. He has learned nothing.
Does he have a greater appreciation for like the reality of being disabled? No.
No,
No,
he doesn't.
he's just impressed that Jimmy can still play basketball better than him. But it's not
Yes.
surprising, Derek, because nobody believes you're good at basketball.
You're not good at like so many things, including being like a character that people want to watch for good reasons. And like there's a reason he didn't really get a storyline. The only time we remotely feel bad for him is when Perino dunks on his ass, and it's like, was that like
I have
just
one episode when I appreciate Derek, and we'll talk about it when we get there. But otherwise, he is a garbage character.
I might be missing. Does he play a role and do something cute? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we get there. No spoilers.
Oh, of course not. There's so much that occurs in this fucking show. I am getting into the time where I was watching at a pivotal age, and I really think that I absorbed these episodes multiple times, and also I perceived them differently because I was more in the age group of the characters. So I remember the seasons coming up differently, specifically this season. Like I was able to quote a lot of not even having to watch it, do the rewatch just all the way through. And I'm like, oh, wow, I really do remember this season more than I think I do. So, yeah, I feel like that's, let me scan. I feel like that's it. I mean, obviously Oilyander, but he's gone. And thank
Right.
the
And he didn't bum me out because he left.
stars.
He did the right thing,
Oh,
even if it was for the
gosh.
wrong reasons.
Ugh.
Does it go there?
Does it go there?
I'm gonna say
I
no.
mean, I think that they want us to say yes because of the quote drug depiction. I don't.
Two teenage girls getting high after one of them got dumped and one of them doesn't have a future is not going there. That's
Yeah,
not news.
it's not news.
17-year-old girls smoke weed, Degrassi. Get over it. But also, to any 17-year-old girls, like, maybe don't smoke so much weed right now because your brain's still developing.
Maybe, but also, I smoked. It. I actually would endorse that because some things I have to remember with sticky notes. I'm only 30. I shouldn't. It's a little bit. This is a little bit like. Yeah, this is a little bit stressful. Like, so weigh it. If you're like, fuck a short-term memory. Or that's not quite the
No, because
extent
I
of
don't
it.
think you have the
But
life
fuck
experience to
retaining.
make that decision. Kids, wait a little longer to smoke weed, okay? Take it from two girlies who started in their teens.
Oh yeah. Yeah, might be wise to wait a while. But yeah, y'all.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to your mom's podcast. Next week, Spinner joins the Friendship Club. And Liberty and JT join the cast of Teen Mom in Foolin'. This episode of Your Mom's Podcast was made possible in part by Banting University, marijuana, and support from listeners like you. We would like to take a moment to thank our Patreon subscribers. Tay,
Evie,
Miranda,
and an extra special thank you to our TiddySnake producers, Alyka,
Brandi,
Chelsea,
Corrie.
and Tawny. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you guys. Love you.
If you'd like to further support our show, you can find us on TikTok and Facebook as Your Mom's Padcast. We also have a Facebook group of the same name. And you can find us on Instagram at YMPadcast. Your Mom's Padcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscriptions and reviews are another great free way to support us. However, if you're interested in supporting us in not free ways, we have a lot of great bonus content on our Patreon, and some great merch at our shop, which can be found at your-moms-padcast-shop.fourthwall.com. And remember, that's Padcast. P-A-H-D-C-A-S-T. Thank you.